Welcome to another Thursday night edition of KitSZN. It should be a fun one here tonight. And Fox, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. It's my last free week.
Last free week, and then back to the cauldrons of school.
Yeah, back to school. Got teacher training next week and all that good stuff. So,
well-deserved rest for our teachers, as always, supporting our teachers and allow them to do cool stuff like this in the summer. Which I had a summer break, but I digress. I just wanted to give also, as always, a quick shout out to our lovely patrons down below. I'm not saying all your names again. There's far too many, and we cannot thank you enough for your love and support to allow us to do these cool things. Because if you haven't seen the header here of today's episode, we have kind of a guest on. Not as an interview. No. We have a guest on our show.
Guest judge.
Yeah, guest judge. Yeah, exactly. And if you haven't picked up, we'd love to support other content creators, especially in the kit world. So this felt like a natural fit. So welcome to the stage, Scissortail Shirts or Gage. Welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I have loved your videos on Instagram. And so it was only a matter of time before we got the Tulsa maniac himself onto the kit show.
Well, it's good to be here. So
yeah, I felt like I'm fanboying a little bit. Like, I'm going to finally got him on. Did it.
I will say here real quickly before we dive into tonight's amazing lineup, by the way, can you tell everybody who may not be aware of who you are and what you do?
Fair. Yes, I have an Instagram called Scissortail Shirts, which of course is shirts for jerseys, and then Scissortail is of course from our badge for FC Tulsa, as well as that's our state bird. I do a lot of videos mainly on like kits from my collection, and then just news around kits around the league. And then I've kind of branched out a little more this last season into like filming matches I go to, because I mean, if I'm there, I may as well. So it's a little bit of everything, basically.
All the content.
Yes, and basically what he's saying very humbly is go follow him if you love kits and some match day vlogs. It's honestly really good content.
Thank you.
Yes, good vibes. Yeah. So we're very honored to we see your impressive collection behind you. Obviously, so we know you got good taste. Obviously, you're wearing a good Tulsa kit, and I see the one in the background as well on the door. So let's dive into some of that expertise. Now, starting off with, we're not going to dive into Tulsa. We're saving that for the dinner at the end. We're going to start off with the appetizer. And then the first course meal here before we get to that main course. So without holding y'all hostage here, I'm going to dive into our very, very first kit here. And this one, I will say, I have been waiting utterly ages for this kit. And I am so glad they finally did it. Yes, you got the chuckle. If you know, you know. This is the Utterly Wisconsin kit from Forward Madison. And I'm going to say this, it's about damn time we got a cow kit. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying. I mean, I know Wisconsin isn't known for having cows, but it's known for the cheese, and the cheese comes from the cows. And it's just yes.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'm disappointed that I didn't have this for, what was it, last week or the week before?
Oh.
When Chick-fil-A had to get the free entree when you wear a cow outfit or something cow related.
Hey, well, now here's your chance, man. I'm just saying. I've been harking out the bellows for years on this one. So, obviously... So we had to bring out this kit here for our guest here, which I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Obviously, it's a cow kit. It's pink. Your thoughts?
Fair. I mean, if you've got a sponsor that's Dairyland, I mean, you kind of had to. It just makes sense. Everything about this, I think, is just cool. The pattern, of course, is sick. It's a cow. I mean, there's what's not to love there.
Right.
Actually, shout out my girlfriend. This was one of her favorite jerseys, and we're definitely going to be needing to purchase this one at some point. But
good taste.
I just think it's cool. There's so many little Easter eggs in it. Like, I mean, even that jock tag down at the bottom, that's really, really cool. I think my favorite little thing on this, though, if you see that little star just underneath the badge, if you look at like the top down Google Maps view of where their stadium is, those two spots are actually like the lakes on either side of the land. It's so sick.
Yeah, the isthmus right there, I think it's what it's called right there, of Madison. If you haven't been, it's a gorgeous city, beautiful landscape as well. And if you couldn't tell, cows and flamingos. I mean, come on. But yeah, as you noted, there are lots of Easter eggs. And what else would we expect from Hummel and Forward Madison? There's a reason they're nicknamed Fashion Club, because they do things like this, and the attention to details are throughout. You can see the details and the utterly Wisconsin. I love that they lead into it. First with the theme of Lionel Bessie years ago, with the cow plushies, with all the split scarves. It was just a matter of time, and I'm so glad. And they leaned into the pink with it. It's not just like a green or a blue, just a kind of, or black and white. Nah. We got some pink into this. So, obviously, if you can't tell here from the three of us, Fox, unless you have any other thing, I think we all vibe, right?
They made this so perfectly. Like you said, like I feel like they like worked in this. Like we didn't just get a cow kit. Like it's almost a map kit. It's with a little bit of everything. It's perfect.
Yes, it's not for my side. I will say this got rejected my perfection into the 5 club. Come throw your pitchforks at me at a later point. But if you couldn't tell, this man, Fox here, gave it a perfect 5. You couldn't tell by the 5.
Easy 5.
I wanted to hear, Cage, your opinion before, if you decided to give a score. I know I sent a rubric. I want to see if I'm not the only one who needs pitchforks.
I can't lie. It's got to be a 5 for me, too. And part of that also, I love a shirt kind of with a gimmick per se, which we haven't even talked about. If you pull up the bottom of the shirt, there's a literal like udder on the inside of the jersey. Right. It's so sick.
That's right. There is.
We need more jerseys that you can celebrate with.
Honestly, yeah. I don't disagree with you. I know they're gimmicky, and I know they're, in this case, I don't say cheesy, but whatever.
Pun intended. Fair enough.
Yes, very, very intended. I'm not trying to hide this one. But the only reason I can't give this a 5 is one simple fact. I don't think it's a 5 for innovation impact. I just can't. I think the impact is there. I just can't, for the sake of me, give it a 5. And I thought about this for a long time, and I couldn't give it a perfect 5. And yes, I am the Scrooge. I will forever be the Scrooge, and I'll add this probably to my list of non-5s that everybody will wholeheartedly disagree with. But it doesn't matter. It's a 4.88 from us here at KitSZN, because I am a Scrooge, and this is a solid kit. And that is well deserving of its high praises, because I decided to be a Grinch, as always. So what that means here is, if you couldn't tell, probably all of us here want to buy this kit, right? Some version, unless folks at home will decide otherwise. So for an adult, it is $105.
Yeah.
For you, right? Oh, that's expensive, right? Well, en contraire, let me tell you, it's amazing kit value, $46.43. Like, come on, it's a cow kit, good details. Fox, you love it. This will probably work at school for you too. There's no alcohol sponsor or anything.
Yeah, I would definitely wear this easily to teach PE.
Hey, what's better motivation than someone dressed as a cow, essentially trying to, maybe kind of motivate you or something? I don't know.
Motivate.
Yeah, motivate and keep them moving, you know?
I would do punts the entire jump right. Yeah, I'm like, all right, guys, keep moving.
Keep them moving.
So cowbell when it's time to like line up. It's like,
right, a little cowbell. I'm tired of cowbells, by the way. If you ever been to certain football stadiums, you know. But this is the utterly Wisconsin kit from Forward Madison. Once again, a gorgeous kit with details. And I'm just a Scrooge who didn't induct it into the Fox Club. So, what's new? And we move on. So, what's next, though, is honestly one that has more history. And if you don't know about Madison, there's history throughout it. There's history through all these clubs that we'll take a look at here. But this one is here to celebrate its history, which I did a lot of it going into this one. This one's kind of cool. And we're talking about the Centennial kit for Breese Stevens Field, because this thing's 100-year-old stadium that you don't get to see that often in this modern day and age outside of some college football stadiums and some baseball stadiums, because everyone's in a new stadium every decade, it seems like at this point. So being able to celebrate something for 100 years, I love that. What are y'all's thoughts on this one? Just obviously, it's a clean, slick, classic-looking kit without even just the history behind it.
Right. I think one of my biggest like praises I've given for Forward Madison over the years, and this is especially a great example this year, is like there's really something for everybody. Like this last one was like, if you love a wild kit, which most of mine are, that's what you got. But if you want just a nice, clean, you can wear it out and about anywhere, this is perfect for that, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, got the long sleeve, got the polo.
Yes.
I love the crest that they used on this. Got the special crest.
Yes.
And it's just a clean classic kit.
It is. And I say, and it's also kind of a Madison style with that sash, kind of keeping with their traditional home look, which includes that sash. So it's a nice nod to what they have as a club and also using their blue, but then also throwing in some of that limestone gold accents. And then obviously a nod here to Breese Stevens Field, which, fun fact, by the way, there is some cool history around this field. If y'all weren't aware, it was originally a baseball stadium back in the day. One of its longest tenets was as a baseball stadium, as most stadiums were, and it also like hosts all the like local high school teams. The Madison 56ers, if you're into deep local soccer, knowing about the 56ers up there in Madison, Australian rules football, lacrosse, midget car racing, rodeos, circuses, everything happens here at Breese Stevens Field. So, of course, Forward Madison had to pay homage to this kit that opened in 1926, May 5th to be exact.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't realize that there was any place in America that had Australian rules football. That is like my favorite sport to randomly watch at 3 a.m.
I will say the only reason I don't watch Australian football is because my wife will get very annoyed very quickly at all the whistling. So I tend to prefer rugby. But that's just
like I swear it's just a bunch of guys in the backyard just tackling each other.
Yes.
Like, there's no rules to it.
Yes.
We have a team here in Tulsa called Oklahoma Buffaloes, and they invited me out one time because I followed them just looking for jerseys, and they're like, "You can come out and give it a shot sometime." And I actually looked the sport up and said, "I'm good. I'm
good."
So I'll try football. I'll try soccer, but like I'm not going to do Australian rules football. Like they just tackle you. Like that's the entire rule. They literally just tackle you. You throw the ball to the side. It's like rugby, but less organized.
Yes.
Yes. So I will also nod in a little fun history here with Breese Stevens. It actually hosted the Chicago Bears back in 1929 when Wrigley Field. Yes, the Bears used to play at Wrigley Field, the football team. So it's hosted a little bit of everything over the decades, and this is a fitting tribute to the kit. And that is also why, if you look at our scores down below at the other, again, it's not a 5, but it's a beautiful kit. And I think we kind of hinted as to why it's not a perfect 5. If you know me, I like kind of wearing cool, fun, chaotic designs with my kits. This one is sleek. It's elegant. It's a lifestyle kit, but it's not breaking 5s for me. But I want to hear y'all's thoughts as we kind of get through this.
I think I'm in the same boat in that the kind of clean shirts aren't necessarily for me. It is adjacent to it. I know we're not necessarily talking about it tonight, but I do have to give a shout out to the goalkeeper version of this kit, which is just the straight up. I definitely want that one more than this one. But again, there's something for everyone. These are both fantastic. It's just not necessarily for my taste, but someone out there is going to absolutely eat this up.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would eat this up, honestly. The only reason why I didn't get a 5 is kind of the same thing you talked about with the Utterly kit is innovation and impact. And that got a 3 from me.
That's fair.
Because
yeah.
it's kind of plain as to what I'm going to use, but it's still sleek. It's still really good looking. So I would, you could easily pick that up, wear it to work, look sharp. I would question it.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, besides just the overall, I think aesthetically, this is a perfect 5 for me. One of my biggest hearts is to, yes, this is a Centennial kit to kind of honor Breese Stevens. From the kit itself, it's hard to tell that is a nod to Breese Stevens. You see it more in the goalkeeper kit, which is what I had just popped up here with kind of this brick outlayer. That's kind of the outer wall there of the field. That is a direct nod to that. The actual player's kit, it's still clean looking. You know what I mean?
It's a 100-year-old kit. That's what it's supposed to be like looking like. What if we had a team 100 years ago?
That's what it feels like, and it's hard to make that connection with Breese Stevens. Besides that little patch, I think it was on the back collar over here. So that hurt me as well, because I like to have those subtle details, which this one, because of the Centennial age, fits like it's from the 1930s. And that's perfectly fine. Just it still did a hell of a good score from us with the 4.63 overall. So yeah, you're fine. So if we go back into this, no, I'm not going to account the launch version, because if I was to get this, I'm 100% in the launch version. But
1,000%.
We're not here to put that into your kit rating score, right? Which I appreciate, Hummel, especially for Madison. It's still a little chilly if you weren't aware up there in Madison. So we wanted to, for $105 as well. So you know the layers and the quality here of Ford Madison. And this one gets a slightly lower score than the Utterly kit. It's not utterly surprising that it is lower, but it does kit value of 41.67.
You're just milking those puns, aren't you?
Oh yeah. I'm not moving on too fast, am I? So this is a great kit to pick up. Basically, the theme of tonight is all these kits are really solid pickups. As we dive into everything here, we're 18 minutes in. We're 2 kits down. We're going to be 2 kits down out of 5. All of these are excellent pickups. Do not let my Grinchness dissuade you otherwise. It's a beautiful, beautiful kit. So this is the Centennial kit. I had to spell that so many times because of a later kit that we talked about too that also got released that also included Centennial. So thank you, Hummel, for having me learn the word Centennial 1,000 times.
Just learning all sorts of new words today.
Please, I need more words. Any final thoughts from either one of y'all here? As we briefly looked at Ford Madison's the Utterly Wisconsin kit and the Centennial kit honoring Breese Stevens.
Just the only number that came to mind as soon as you said that 105 was like, man, I'd love a long sleeve, but the real feel here has been like 105 for like 2 weeks. So I may get it and hold on to it and then wear it in the fall, but probably not till then.
Yeah.
All right.
And I definitely agree with what you were talking about, Scissor, when you were saying that the nice thing about Ford Madison is that you got your options. You can have the fun, crazy kits. You can have the sleek kit. Whatever you want, you can rock a flamingo.
Or a kilt like last year, right? Yeah. Or the kilt.
And that was still such a clean-looking jersey, too. Like, it wasn't even too cheesy or anything.
at all. But this conversation leads us down to our next place, and that is the Birmingham Legion All Roads Lead home kit. And this one, it's solid. And besides, before we dive into the kit itself, what Birmingham did here to really honor and show this off into their local community, going to businesses that represent Birmingham and the Magic City, such as going to Hero Donuts, going to Alabama Peanut Company. Yes, there's a peanut company there in Alabama, if you didn't know. Sloss Furnaces. You're going to Hollow Athletic Complex. Richard Allen apparently did his own thing from 1978. Sorry, he's 78. And a longtime member. You're going to the firefighters. Did some EMS involved as well as Adios. North Star Ministry, like all of these local businesses and iconic landmarks got to be able to be a part of the storytelling of this kit, where it gets its name. All roads lead home there in Birmingham. Move over, take me home, West Virginia. It's take me home, Birmingham, Alabama, I guess, from today's kids. So, but yes, I want to hear y'all's initial thoughts. I feel like I keep talking quite a bit. So I want to hear y'all's initial thoughts here on this new Birmingham Legion kit.
I think that this continues kind of a trend of not to, glaze Hummel and be a Hummel fanboy, which if you follow me, I am. Let's just be for real. I think Hummel has done absolute wonders for Birmingham, because nothing against the Nike era. It was a template. Let's be real. But everything that made sense. This just continues just an incredible trend of I feel like every Hummel kit they've made so far, again, is something tying into the community, even going back to the release photo shoot, just like you said. Yes. This literally is the community on a jersey. That's super, super cool.
Yes, and they're no longer Coke cans or Sprite cans. Even as much as I love their Sprite and Chill kit, it's my only Birmingham kit in my closet. Yes, it's time to move on.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's such a sharp-looking jersey. I will say, when I was first looking at all the pictures, it was kind of hard to see the actual jersey because everybody was doing their job and stuff like that. And I'm like, is it just a black kit? I see the sparks. In the middle, I'm like, oh no, wait, this is a map kit.
Yes.
And again, not to harp on map kits, but it's been done.
That is true. And
like you said, though, they did such a good job marketing this, and it looks sharp. I always like a nice black kit anyways.
I will say my favorite little tidbit there are the stars on the crest. It's a nod to the three Sparks. Sorry, not stars. The Sparks on the crest. Before Taylor gets in on here, the Sparks for obviously what Birmingham Legion there. And everything. So it's a fun little nod of color added onto it. I think it's a great idea. I love the one thing that is interesting to me that you can really kind of see right here was the gray collar and cuff, the cuffs being gray with the gold. Now that's a tie-in with the map gray within the gold Sparks there of Birmingham. I'm just not super 100% positive. I vibe with that aesthetically. But that's just me. I think the color seemed a little weird from that perspective. A little random choice.
I think that's fair. But, again, I thought this was a really cool looking kit, aesthetically. Obviously, I feel like consistency. I feel like you have to give it a 5 minutes a map kit. I disagree hard, and we'll see that here in my scores when I pop that up here. This is our only ripped hero tonight. Actually, no, every kit's a ripped between us because we have different scores on all of these tonight. But yeah. But for me, this feels like it's a map kit. So yes, that definitely loses points for innovation impact. And it's not as authentic because yes, it's a map, and yes, it's Birmingham.
yes, they have the sparks on the kits, but at some point, every team will have one, and as much as it's a great thing for local fans and those of the community, especially with the marketing that they put into it, they're all the same. I don't care how good they look; they're all the same. That's just me being a Scrooge, as I tend to do. So, what was your score to what?
I was saying, like, that's why it couldn't get a perfect 5 for me. But it did get a 4. Like, I feel like this is a really good looking map kit. It wasn't just, copy and paste the map onto a shirt. So, all right, we did it. Like, it has the sparks. It has, different looks to it.
Yeah.
Slightly different. So, but it still can't be a 5.
Engage for you. How was your kind of thoughts and feelings or score about this?
I mean, I think for me, this leans more towards the 4, but maybe 4.5, somewhere in there. Again, it's one of those where it's like my philosophy when it comes to kits is always like every jersey means something to someone. I'm not from Birmingham. I know if I was and we had like a Tulsa version of this, I would be all over it if we had like our map on it. And so I can't knock it. It's nice and clean. It's just this and the away kit, which I don't think you guys have talked about just yet. But I mean, they've got a very cohesive set this year, and I love them both.
Oh, the Forge for Battle, right?
Yes, that one is
sick. I like that one better, but that's just me because of my aesthetic. So yeah, I gave it a 4. Again, I'm going to reiterate. It's because the authenticity tradition seems a little low for me. I give it a 3 there, and then I gave it a 4 for innovation because it's a map kit. Okay? But that's not why you're here, to hear me continue to ramble on about this kit and about my score here. We do have this as a kit value because, yes, one of the things that I've noticed with 95% of Hummel kits is that they are actually for sale, unlike some other teams. So this one does have a very good kit value of $44.19. If you're a map kit collector, I'm just saying, you should have this.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other reason, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the Birmingham. I mean, it could be the spark of a new conversation or a new collection. You never know. That's what these kits tend to do. So yeah, so this is the Birmingham Legion All Roads Lead Home kit. And if you've done some quick counting on your fingers, you know where that kind of leads us here. Oh, that's my score. That's not supposed to be there. Cool. So what you see here is actually where this next kit goes. I was going to give you a choice, but that is 100% user error on my part. So, Cage, I'm going to slide you up here into, I think, as the main. Yeah, there it is. I'm going to swap you. Boom. You have a cool little story regarding this Centennial 66. Sorry, this Route 6 Centennial kit. Thank you, Tulsa. And you have a cool little story about this one. So I'll give you the floor regarding this kit.
So as I couldn't knock a map kit, considering we literally have it's one of my favorite. This is easily one of my favorite jerseys we've done in a long time. I remember I saw a picture of, we knew we were getting a blue one, which was kind of like, I'm used to, the patina or like the black and gold, and a blue one was very interesting, but now like kind of knowing what everything is on this, I think it's really cool. I think the story we're alluding to here is, as soon as I saw this, I saw the sleeves. These are actually a whole bunch of neon signs just around Tulsa and around Route 66 specifically on either side of Tulsa and through Tulsa. But I made a video on my Instagram where I went out and I found every single one of these. And there's, I think it was 8 different signs just spread out across Tulsa. And it was really cool to just go out and just find them all. Fun little scavenger hunt. Nice way to spend a ridiculously hot afternoon in Tulsa. But, but yeah, everything about this is cool. Obviously, the map across this is actually Route 66 with the actual like tribal shield where Tulsa is on there.
Cool.
We're considered the capital of Route 66, as it says in the inside neck, because the guy that actually initially pitched it as a highway, it was from Tulsa, or at least he lived in Tulsa and he pitched. But so that's kind of what gives that our nickname here. But I just think this one it's super cool. Definitely an interesting alternate in terms of a color choice, but I mean that's what you want. You want something that's kind of different than your normal. So
yes, and I will say as much as I love the patina green that that they've done in years past, I think it's a nice little refresher to kind of another unique color. And if you pop up here, oh my goodness, why is it not showing my thingy? Oh, that's why. There's a slideshow of some of those monuments and some of those neon signs found across the Oklahoma region surrounding Tulsa in and outside of the city, which is really cool. And it kind of dives into that. I feel like I want to say like almost 80s aesthetic, which I always did with that patina green. It reminds me of like an 80s diner. Anytime I see that color, and these signs just enhance that. This reminds me of Cars. If you grew up watching Cars, like a lot of us have, this just brings back a memory of that show and one of my first tastes of kind of cool stuff along the highway that you would never ever know about. So yeah, any other cool thing obviously about before we dive into the actual image of the kit itself here, Tage, anything else besides these cool like signs?
Yeah. So just picking on the signs again real quick, there is one that is the metal gold sign in there that actually was initially like built in 1934 and it is still standing today. They did restore it, I think in like 2006 or 2008, somewhere in there. But that is the sign that was built then. So that has existed for almost as long as the entire highway. I thought that one especially was really cool to go see.
Wow.
But the blue on the kit itself as well, if you're not familiar, it is actually meant to be, when you're driving down the road and you see the sky versus the asphalt, that's exactly what that color gradient is supposed to be. And I just, again, now that I know that, everything about this is just cool.
Yes, as someone who, I think I mentioned it on the show before, I don't know if I have or haven't, I actually wrote a paper on the interstate system and how its origins. So I love a good highway story. I'm a bit of an engineer nerd in that regards. Kind of nerded out. So I like the aesthetic of this and the idea of Route 66 because it not only is Tulsa the capital of Route 66, it's also the first highway that essentially connected coast to coast, and like the first major highway here in the United States. And that's kind of a big deal, especially knowing all the local pit stops along it. And it was probably massive for a lot of the cities along it, like Tulsa in a massive era of Radiator Springs, exactly. The bustling metropolis of Radiator Springs. But I will say my favorite little bits here, again, as you pointed out, are just the details and just being able to use, just at least from what I've seen on here from this, is that there aren't really duplicates of the signs. Like, it's almost, hey, let's grab like 60 different photos and then let's cram them into both of the shoulders and we're not going to repeat. I love that.
I don't know exactly how he did it, but shout out Victor, one of our creatives behind the whole shoe, behind this kit, everything. That when he was kind of telling me about the sleeves and everything, I mean, even talking to the people in the club shop, they were like, I don't know how he did it. I agree. It's really, really sick, and it just feels like he literally just took an amalgamation of photos of everything and just said, all right, here you go. But it's one of those. It's so busy that like you almost think it shouldn't work, but it absolutely does. It looks really great from far away, up close. Everything about it's cool.
Yes. And I think what really does that is I think this shot right here, as much as the shoulders are busy and you can kind of also say the lower half of the body, but the upper half of the chest is solid blue. So it basically makes them, I don't say discombobulated from each other, but because they're not so connected, it makes it less busy, especially with that soft blue that is kind of. It's not too hard of a blue. It's not like a bam in your face color.
Yeah, Yeah, it's not a full like royal blue. It's like you said, it's a nice skyline as you drop through.
Yes, exactly. And then, and even down below with the map itself, it's not even overpowering as well, because let's face it, it also is a lot of the central plains here in the United States, and there is quite a space in between all the different states. So it's not like it's like the Northeast where you have like a bajillion, states kind of like huddled into the little corner. This is a little bit more spread out. So it's a little bit more appeasing to the eye on a kit level, kind of seeing that almost overgrown map view. But, that is just what it is. And also, while we're here, who doesn't want to know some history about Route 66? Because that's what I have right here. So this highway ran from Chicago through Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma here in Tulsa, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, before terminating in Santa Monica, California, covering 2,448 miles. The first major route for westward migration, especially during the Dust Bowl of the 1930s. So imagine it in this perspective. Breese Stevens Field, the one who hosted the Bears, who played at a Wrigley Field, or however long that's been. At the same time, Route 66 was also being constructed during that time, which is now a national scenic byway as of 1985. Just saying. Just saying.
One fun fact I can throw there for you that I didn't know until I was doing my research on this kit. So currently New Mexico has the longest like total mileage of the current 66 layout. But if you wanted to drive like the original OG layout without any alterations, Oklahoma is the state that has the most mileage of it. I think at just around like 400 miles. So if you want, it could be fun to drive, because honestly, as big as my state is, I've never gone further west than Oklahoma City, because it's nothing. I don't know what's out there, to be frank, but it's, I think
anyone does.
432 is the exact number. There we are. That's just crazy.
Hey, and I'll also say the state with the least amount with the current configuration, Kansas. Just saying, Kansas, less steps in Kansas. Maybe.
Yeah, what now, Kansas? Suckers.
So if you want to have a nice little almost blast of the past along Route 66, you see basically most of Mid-America, and this kit is a nice homage to that, and where it is considered the capital there at Tulsa. Which, again, I'm going to say this, before Hummel, kind of the thing, especially when they were with Puma in years past, even though they looked good, I'm learning so much about Tulsa, man. I'm not even going to lie. Like, as a Midwesterner, I actually low-key forgot Tulsa existed until really these kit games. Hey, and this is why we do this show, right? I'm becoming a local historian about Birmingham, Alabama, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and as well as Boise, Idaho, places that I've never been to.
Tell me you've ever heard of Westchester County.
And that, yes, exactly.
We had an entire episode last week about Westchester, so.
Exactly, which check that out as well. Thanks for the plug. But more about this kit. One of the things that I also like is a little hallmark, little I don't want to say patch, but that little spot right there in the back with the Route 66. And then even the gradient extends to the back. It's not just all solid on the back side, which is really nice. And also, as an Indiana person, my state's on there. I'm okay with that. I'm good. I'm good with that. I appreciate my state being somehow. The what isn't?
The Brute's not going through it.
No, but it's okay. It's Chicago. It's Indiana adjacent.
Chicago lands in Indiana now, so. Not
yet. Actually, probably more not. But this is just a really cool kid, and I think, to your point, Gage, I like the colors. The black and the blue just look really sharp together, especially with the road being outlined as that. I think color-wise, this looks good. It's busy, but it's not too busy, and it's fun, and it's just a good combination of the colors, something that ties in local, that's honestly really good and a clever combination. Now, I don't need to ask you, Gage, for your score. It's probably a 5 for you up there. Yep. Yep. And if I remember right, Fox, it's a 5 for you as well, right? Yeah. Damn it. Okay. Of course it is me. It's always me. It's always me. It's always me. So,
it's me. What is wrong with you, bro?
Hey, one of us got to be screwed. So I give it a 4.25. And now hold your pitchforks. Hold your pitchforks. Again, I feel like I'm gonna have to like not provide my address to people so they don't like come at me. But when so here's my thing, and I have 3 little points that I didn't fully like. Okay, so 1, as much as it is a really cool kit aesthetically, I give it a 4 aesthetically. It's not a perfection for me aesthetically. It's just not something that I'm immediately buying. And you can probably guess it doesn't have a collar and it's not white. Those are usually my top tier bangers on top of like the absolute chaos. Like I'm wearing pretzels on the kit right now. So that's not it for me. Now, you might roll your eyes at this one. I give it a 4 for authenticity tradition. And here is my sole point.
Yes, please tell me.
It might be the capital of Route 66, Tulsa, but I don't think it can claim Route 66 because of their mileage. And I think that kind of takes a knock out of it. I don't know.
I think anybody on Route 66 can claim Route 66. Like I feel like St. Louis can claim Route 66.
And that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I mean, hey, one of us has got to be a Scrooge, okay? And I will happily wear that hat. And then I did give it a 4 for execution details. I still think it's a gorgeous kit and the best that it could have done with the idea. I just don't 100% say it's perfection with the execution. I do think the details are immaculate. I love what they did there, especially with the little what they did around Tulsa. So those 3 points drop it down to a 4.25 for me because I am nitpicky.
Hey, it's okay. No feelings hurt. You're just not allowed in Oklahoma anymore. It'll be okay.
Damn, road trip canceled now. But
it took Route 65 to go around.
Yes. But luckily, this Route 66 kit is available for sale for $105. And that means that a solid kit value of $44.05. You know, it's, again, this is still a great kit. Don't listen to me. Again, here's your advice from me from today's episode. Okay, I'm going to emphasize that from today. Don't listen to me. I am the Scrooge. I love stuff, but I'm too much of a Scrooge. And also, Cage knows everything about Tulsa. So those are your 2 takeaways here from tonight's episode. Is that just otherwise? Yeah.
I will shout out. I do need to make a video. I was going to make it today, but just with work, ran out of time. This did feature in our match last night for the championship final rematch against Pittsburgh, who also wore their 3rd kit, that chromatic one. That is easily going to be my kit matchup, like on field of the entire season. It was so good.
Yes, the colors.
That sounds like a busy match.
And I love it. It's busy in a good way. You know what I mean? It's not chaos like when Indy 11 wore their blue and yellow against Omaha, who was wearing blue and bolts. So I appreciate that. I forgot. Yeah, and also congrats Tulsa on the. Did they win? It was 1-0 win. That's right. I was making sure I was congratulating the right side, so I know it was a 1-0 result. My brain thought for a second.
Congratulations on trying your hardest.
Right.
36 weeks late. Should have.
Right.
Hey, if there's anything that I know about, anything about soccer, lock and change like Indy 11's attitude right now with 3 straight losses. Let's go. Positive vibes only. So I'm moving forward from that conversation. But no, that is the Route 66 Centennial kit. It's fun. It's a third kit. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Honor, be colorful, and make me be a Scrooge. So it did its job. Thoughts? Anything else on this one before we move on to probably my favorite aesthetically of the set?
It's like, I honestly do feel like I am like, I texted you this, like I feel like I'm cheating or something. Like I just sat there and like the kids that I gave fives for, I sat there for like 30 minutes each trying to find something like, so that I'm not just like that guy who's like, oh, I like it, here's a five. Oh, I like it, here's a five. You know, like I
Valid
tried
reasoning.
so hard. I'm like, I can't knock anything off of this. You know, like I can't sit there and like, oh, this cow kit, you know, there's this is wrong or that's wrong. Like, no, it was awesome. And I feel the same with this root one. Like, you can argue that it's busy, but like they did it so perfectly. You can argue that the colors don't make sense, but they did it so perfectly. Like, it's the sky and the road, it's the map, it's like I just couldn't argue anything against it.
And that's why you have me.
I think I will say I think the only complaint I have seen about this one was it was just a couple like people complaining on like Reddit or on like Instagram or whatnot. We have worn that at home more than our actual home this season, but I'm choosing to believe it's because it's slightly less fully black in the Oklahoma heat. So
hey.
Yeah.
Hey, if it works, it works. Hey, just as this man and how Lou City wore their third kit one time, lost in it, and decided never to wear it again. If it's working, it's vibing, and it worked yesterday against Pittsburgh. So just saying.
Yeah, I should say like anytime Louisville wins in a kit, they'll wear that kit the entire season now. So,
but speaking of,
black and blue kit.
You do that. You do. But our next kit is not black or blue. It is actually, I think it's a gold and various shades of gold. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say it is because there's quite a few colors on this one, which I appreciate. And this is the Philtower kit. And you're like, what the hell's a Philtower?
I have my own tower.
Yeah, you have your own tower. It is this tower right here in downtown Tulsa, and this is a great example of Art Deco. I love Art Deco vibes. It's such a way better design for a building than just straight vertical glass and it's like, hey, it's super tall, it's better glass. Cool. Look at this. This looks like a castle, but tall. I love this. But for you, Gage, what does it mean for them to add something what looks iconic as this and bring it into the kit?
It's one of the things that we do have, I feel, as FC Tulsa is, if you're not aware, we do play in a baseball stadium, but it does have, in my opinion, one of the best skylines in the entire league. And so just for us to be able to look up, we're watching a match, you look up, you see a whole skyline of buildings. That this one, admittedly, is a little covered since it's on the other side of the Mid-Continent Tower, which is the big, taller one to its right in that picture. Yes. But it's just cool to see like a building that if you're coming from the South, like I used to, coming from South Tulsa into town for matches, that this was always one of the first big buildings I'd see in the skyline as I get off the highway. And it's so cool to see it like just on a kit. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, this is incredible. And again, it's another one that it is history of Tulsa because we're 2 years away from the Centennial for this one as well. This was initially built in 1928, initially as like an office tower. There's actually 8 floors of it that are now apartments. And I don't even want to know what the rent looks like for that. But again, it's just a really, really cool building in the skyline.
I am currently looking that up because I love a good downtown aesthetic. I'm just saying.
I'm just scared I'd look it up and it would immediately just pop up like, nope, too much for you. Don't even try
It's like, why are you on this website? Come on, Zillow, please.
I will say it doesn't quite tell me. It just says inquire. So that definitely means it is 100% out of my my budget. But hey, a 2-bed, 2-bath for 1,500 square foot. Just saying, it's pretty solid for a downtown place. Just saying. Just saying. So, but yeah, so here's the kit itself, and what I appreciate about this one is it didn't go full on with the gold, and then even the Art Deco underneath, what I think is a really beautiful touch. Is like the three different shades that are in the collar and the cuff. I think there's like a darker shade, and then there's almost like an orange gold, I'm gonna call it. Kind of in there, and as well as the collar is a slightly less color. Sorry, that little inlet, that little cutlet right there is kind of even more orangey of a color because of the fabric difference. And I think all of that tied in together looks really good. Also, I appreciate the sponsor and even the Hummel are like that, almost like a gray and almost like blended into the kit, and they're not the show. What the show is actually the crest. The crest stands out on this kit, and that's pretty good. I like that from an aesthetic perspective.
I can tell you one thing that does not stand out on this one is the numbers on the back. So that does knock it a little bit for me, but it is what it is.
Hey, as long as you're,
I don't agree on that.
Yeah, about to say, as a journalist here in Indy, I appreciate good visibility of numbers. I like to know who's kicking a ball, or someone else. But it also, hey, I've seen red cards. You got to know who's the one who's throwing the punches or kicking. With the high kick. You got to be able to know that information. I got to be able to post about it.
You don't want to be the journalist sitting there waiting for football to update.
or as me actively listening to the broadcast like 10 seconds behind. Like, wait, what name was this? But no, I think what this one fits with the aesthetic that Hummel has set up for 2026. Which is why I love this kit. It's my vibe, it's my aesthetic, and this is why it's my favorite, which is also why I love the what's the official name? But the true gold, is that what it's called? The black with
the state gold.
State gold. There it is. Yes, on back there. Yes, he has all of these kits. Yes, that one.
Yes, and this one is also themed after a building too, because this is where's that? The little like jock tag or whatnot down there is of like one of the little signages outside a huge tower that's even next to these two. So.
There you go. So basically what I'm hearing is Tulsa loves to honor their buildings and their art deco and their vibes, and I appreciate that as someone who is a bit of an architecture nerd myself. I love it. I love the pair together. I think they're both. It's nice to see two kits that are separate years released almost have a same theme of honoring a building, and then you have the third kit be like, you know what, screw buildings, let's do an entire highway. And I think that cohesively is really nice to me.
Well, and even the away kit from last season, the one that I'm wearing, the picture that it had the two skyscrapers in it, where there's the taller one with the green roof, this literally was that building too. So it's a whole hat trick basically of just, here's a cool building in the skyline. Yes. We're going to make a kit about it. And it's classy that you can wear it literally anywhere. So
yes, exactly. And I love it. I do say that though. So what's your score, Gage? Because I'm going to be a disappointment once again. What's your score?
I unfortunately have to give it a 4.75 only because of the numbers on the back. Whenever they actually have the numbers, it literally is invisible on TV. If you aren't a diehard like I am, where you know every single player on the team and their last blow before us, you'd have no clue at all.
I mean, look at that stash. How can you not know who that stash is?
Harvey St. Clair, our Scotsman.
See, look at that. I didn't even know, but he did.
Chelsea Academy product.
Boom. See, stash does it all. But Fox, I want to hear your thoughts. Also, I love the retro ball here in this photo. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, they definitely needed to do the retro balls for this. They need to play in this with the retro ball. I would love to see that. But it's a beautiful kit for me. Like, it's a clean classic kit, but it's also creative enough for me to where it is innovative. I feel like it does have impact. So like, I mean, I give this one a 5 as well because I sat there. I'm like, well, at first when I just saw like the kind of beige golden color in my head, I was like, okay, just a nice clean kit, cool. But then I was like, oh, this is the Art Deco style that you were talking about. This has this look that's deep inside of the devil's in the details, right? We talk about that all the time.
Yes.
And I absolutely love it. So it's another 5 for me today. Like I said, I sat there forever trying to I was trying to knock something down.
I am the villain. I'm the villain once again. So what I
and
did
don't do
was
the numbers. So
as I said, aesthetically, I need this kit. This belongs in my kit, my collection yesterday. It is gorgeous. I don't have any gold kits, which is actually I don't have. No, I don't have any all gold, do I? I don't. So this would fit well in my collection. But this is the vibe and aesthetic that I am 100% going for. It's got the collar. It's got a multicolored cuff. It's got the details in it with the Art Deco, a fun nod to a great era of architecture before we got into post-war and the stare of the 80s with the brutalism architecture. Anyways, before I nerd on that, we also got some authentic tradition. I give it a 4. I give it a 4. It's hard to take. One of the things that's really hard with Art Deco, unless it is 100% super, super distinguished, it's hard to tell without knowing more what it's tying to. Because Art Deco all kind of has the same feel. It's just a matter of, do you know what it's being applied to? And in this case, we know, but if you're just on the street, you may not. Yes, I'm being picky, and yes, I'm keeping my bars high for these kits. For visual details execution, though, absolute perfection. The details, the coloring, the shading, the devil in the details is just on point. You can't execute this kit better from that perspective. I just gave it a 3 for innovation impact because it is a subtle gold kit with a nice Art Deco pattern underneath. It's not going to break the internet because of how elegant this kit looks. I said this about most of the kits here from Hummel and others who've done the nice, beautiful collar kits. They're not shattering the internet because they're innovative. They're shattering the internet because they're just so damn classy looking. And this one fits that vibe. And that's why I think for me a 4.25 and with Fox's 5 with 4.63 is quite appropriate. It's a beautiful kit. It looks good. It's got the details.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
There we go. See? So at least I will hold off. Oh, I held off the mobs this week for 1 week further. By the way, if anyone's curious for the season averages for this year, by the way, the gap is widening significantly between Fox and I. He's at a 3.7 overall. I'm at a 3.58. So, yeah. If anyone was curious, but because if you happen to notice, it's the exact same score as the Route 66 kit, which means it's the exact same kit value. Basically, buy a Tulsa kit. They're damn good looking. They're beautiful. Yep. They're a nod to local history. I swear you're going through a history book every time I see a new FC Tulsa kit ever since they went with Hummel from the patina. Their even their Crybaby, little fun, little offsets. What I'm saying is keep an eye on Tulsa merch. They're doing everything to pay attention to their local community because I'm learning so much about Tulsa. So your thoughts?
Man, I should have worn a Crybaby shirt.
Yes, that's still available for sale, by the way. The Crybaby. Oh, where's that? Of course he has it.
We have the actual jersey and everything.
Nice,
dude. Look at this. by the way, that sleeve, it almost reminds me of. It almost felt like it could be an inspiration for the Route 66 kid. I'm just saying.
I mean,
it looks similar.
Yeah, I love the fun stuff we can do like that.
Yes. Yay, Hummel for doing the fun stuff exactly like that. So now, Gage, as the resident Tulsan, is that the right word? Or the resident Tulsan? Okay. So what are your overall thoughts from 2026 kit set, the ones that have been released?
I think all in all, it's another great year. I have screamed it from the rooftops that us moving to Hummel is probably the best thing that's ever happened to kits for us. Nothing against Puma, just not for me. A lot of people really enjoyed them. I just think now that we've moved to Hummel and really embraced the Art Deco, because our badge, literally the write-up of it is it's a scissor tail in Art Deco. So for us to fully go in on it, I think we're really just smashing it out of the park with every kit.
Absolutely. And as a kit nerd, and as someone who has been kind of doing this show for 5 years, seeing the evolution of them particularly and Birmingham have been amazing to watch from the outside. Just saying, especially with the colors that Tulsa black and gold is a good combination. And then that patina.
I will say I'm a little sad that we didn't use patina on an actual kit this season, unless there's just a fourth kit in the pipeline I don't know about. But I was about to say sneak peek. We do have a supporter kit that I'm helping kind of work on that I was like, we have to put patina. We have to do something with it. So
yes. You want to tell us a little bit about this? As we also have here, as we would say, a little bit of a Equipped Studios propaganda here on KitSZN. So he's been working with these. Take it away.
Yeah. So we reached out to Austin to see if he could help kind of design us a kit for the supporter section this year. For me personally, it literally just came from I want something with patina to be able to wear on the field while I'm covering games, or if just to have something in the stands. And we really went for something that's kind of just a mixture of all sorts of Tulsa history. The actual the typical Admiral template with the two piping stripes coming down the sides.
Right.
That was actually from our very first ever kit when we were the Tulsa Roughnecks in the NASL back in the 1970s, just with the modern colorway, of course. The Tulsa script across the front was actually our badge that we had in 1984, which was the final season of the original Tulsa Roughnecks. When, of course, NS folded, rest in peace. But but then, of course, you got the 918 Brigade logo on there, which is our main supporter group, which Mario, if you're still watching, I did see him in the chat. He's our fearless leader, and we love that guy dearly. We have a Tulsa flag just in the 918 Brigade colors on the sleeve there. And, of course, the Lucha Libre mask on the back. We absolutely love Lucha masks. If you see any pictures of our supporters from the playoff run this last year, you'll probably see a whole bunch of smoke bombs and a whole bunch of Lucha masks. So
I was very curious at first. I was like, what does Oklahoma have to do with Tulsa have to do with a luchador match? But hey,
everything.
I guess we know now. Yeah, everything apparently.
Yeah, that's so that ties a little bit more into, which I don't know the full history of this. If Mario ever comes on here, he could explain that a lot better than I can. But it's my understanding when the original, so when we got our USL club in 2015, it was the Tulsa Roughnecks, and we of course, rebranded. We had a main supporter group known as the Roustabouts, and then there was a second group, which the name is escaping me, and I feel so bad. But there was a second kind of offshoot, mainly kind of Hispanic supporter group, leaning more into those traditional kind of designs. And I think through the years that's kind of amalgamated and moved on. And now I think 918 Brigade is basically what is that now. So we have the main supporter group, which is 83 United. We have the Tulsa Lunatics, who they literally are just there for the hot dogs. That's their whole gig. And then we have 918 Brigade, which is kind of the one that I'm more involved in. And we put on a couple tailgates a season, and we're there for a good time. So
hell yeah. I just heard I gotta hit up a tailgate and get some good hot dogs from the Lunatics. And that is what I'm hearing.
That's right.
So these look really good. I love the overall style. I can't wait to see the finished product. I know Austin will be more than happy to talk about that as well as we get down to it. Or you have a physical copy, you're always welcome on the show. But I wanted to ask you. I have two more things I want to ask. One, obviously, being a Tulsa soccer nerd that you are, what is out of all of it, all of the collections that you have of Tulsa kits, what one is your favorite?
That's literally the easiest answer I could probably give tonight. But it is which is funny enough, even though we were with Puma, we had a couple third kits that oddly enough Hummel, and this was our Indigenous Peoples kit, which was our third kit from 2023, I believe. We partnered with a local Native American artist named Jessica Moore Harjo. But of course, this is, the scissor tail from our badge and everything, but it's in traditional Native American ribbon art. And it's just, everything about this, I think, is absolutely incredible. I unfortunately have put on a few pounds since I bought this one, so I can't necessarily fit into it anymore, but it's still one of my favorites. I am of Native American descent, so this was one that it literally was like, I can go home and I can tell my grandma, it's like, hey, our heritage is literally on a jersey for the club that I love with like my whole being. So just stuff like that is cool.
I love that. I love that. As you mentioned, every kit has a story for somebody to kind of get into or kind of vibe with. And that one is super special to you and your family and be able to honor that. I love that. That's a great selection. It also looks cool as hell. So
if I could bring back literally any one kit from our history, it would be that one. And be like, make that home kit. I need that now.
So what you're saying is I need to make it in some way, or we need to continue to press Victor to try to be like, bring this back.
Hey, it's one of those, every time that I've talked to him, I'm like not trying to be in his ear, like, hey, maybe we should like, one, I'm fully just going to be like unabashedly, please do it again. Which he was actually, I think, one of the, like, he helped a lot with while she designed the kit, the release, photo shoot, video, everything. I remember when that was teased, there was a really sick, like, stop motion, like the outline of the scissor tail with all sorts of stuff kind of like up on Turkey Mountain, which is a big like outdoor wilderness area we have. He absolutely smashed it with that. It was so good.
Good. I love that. I love the creative direction that Tulsa has done anyways for a while. So that does not surprise me. Fox, do you have any questions for our guest here before I have my one last question?
As I said, I don't know if your question is going to be the same as my question, but outside of Oklahoma, outside of Tulsa, what is your favorite kit that you got?
Oh man, like of a kit I have that's not from in Oklahoma.
Yeah, in general, yeah.
Just your favorite kit that's not a Tulsa.
that one's a little tougher, but I think I have an answer for that one too.
Ooh, okay. It's kind of like picking a favorite child. It's impossible.
Right. Yeah.
It's gotta be the good old San Francisco City. This was one of the ones that like I bought initially just because I thought it looked really, really cool. Yeah. But one of my favorite parts of doing videos and doing content and stuff is being able to like dive into a kit and like I know nothing about what this meant, but the more I learned and more in like specifically like what the three koi fish on this represent and all the I mean it's a pride shirt. Obviously you got the rainbow across the front. This was for a good cause. They donated to a local charity with all the proceeds from this. Incredible, top to bottom, everything outside of the shirt and then the shirt itself. I mean, come on, it's beautiful.
Absolutely. I literally wore that shirt last week because it's such a gorgeous kit. And I was like, I haven't worn you enough. You're too good. I have to wear you. Solid choice. Also, check out our interview with Ian, the designer of that kit from SF City, by the way.
Yes.
Little plug-in to learn more about what Gage just kind of talked about with the details. And I would say my favorite take on a pride kit, besides just rainbows everywhere, it's a very nice, subtle way.
It's a less obvious one.
Yes, and I think that's a really creative approach to it.
Yes, and I mean, if I could talk about it literally all day long. I did I almost bigged up myself and said a really good video on it. But just what the three koi fish represent of like love, death, as they joke, moving to Colma, whatnot. But the love one literally being the rainbow fish is just beautifully.
I loved everything that Ian did with last year. Those last year's sets, everything had a tie with some sort of Asian culture that is prevalent there in San Francisco. Either it be by the denim and how the weave-in that was used, it's very a traditional Japanese style, or the koi ponds, koi fish. I love that. So now my last question for you, not Tulsa related, but you now have yourself a new potential not potential. You have yourself a new in-state team, probably rival here at Oklahoma City United. Now it's not the Energy Rip. I love that name and branding, but we have the OKC United, which kind of reminds me of the Rangers, kind of with the squiggles in the middle. So I want to hear from your thoughts what you think, and also what you've heard from locals up there in Tulsa.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's always going to be that Oklahoma City bad, kind of mantra kind of here, just because, we haven't had them for half a decade now, and now they're back. We got to get back to now we're Big Brother because we've literally existed for how long? But I think purely putting that aside, I really love this color scheme they went for. I know I've heard some people kind of talking about, well, what is the pink? What is the blue? Because there's like kind of that navy in there.
Yes.
They really went all in on, if you don't know, or if anybody's listening and you don't know, they really went in on Oklahoma sunsets, which is where that pink comes from. Yes. And I mean, even visitors that I've had from out of state, shout out Grassroots POV, Kyle came down to us for a playoff game last year. And he said that's his favorite. That was his favorite part of the experience, was literally the sunset in the stadium. So being able to tie into that, I think is really cool. Now my nitpick with this crest, purely just from a design standpoint, I love all the different Native American designs on here. You've got the arrowheads on either side of Oklahoma City United. Yes. The 39 sun rays represent each one of the tribes. You have the arrowhead in the actual crest itself. Yep. I do not necessarily enjoy the little letter mark on the inside. I think that's where it falls apart for me, because I'm like, you've focused all of these design elements around that, and I just don't think it fits personally.
What Old English in the middle?
Yeah, here's a whole bunch of Native American stuff, and then here's the thing on the inside, which is maybe a little harsh, but my gut reaction when I first saw this was like, this looks like something I would see on like a t-shirt for a fraternity. And I don't know if that's too harsh, but that was my first instinct when I first saw this.
Hey, maybe what the thought is here is, with this one logo, you can get 3 logos out of it. You get the main one right here. We get one by dropping the OKC United. I think that's a little redundant, a little bit, whatever. And then with just the script in the middle. Maybe that was the intention. But this was designed by Matt Wolf, if you obviously know him, as well as with creative direction from a founding investor, someone, just a normal person called Russell Westbrook. Kind of helped with this. Yeah, some guy. But to your point, the color scheme here is midnight blue, pink sunset, and ivory cloud. What team has those color schemes in the USL, let alone any professional sports team?
Right.
Man, their heads just in the clouds for this one, aren't they?
Exactly. And it'll be ready just in time for their brand new stadium that get released here, be ready for opening in 2028. I'm excited to see their kit game just because of those beautiful colors. They need to do something good with it. Otherwise, Tulsa will dominate just due to the kit game if they continue their trajectory.
Hey, and at least we've been playing. They keep telling us we're jealous. It's like, I'm just glad my team exists because yours in it for a long time.
Right. Hey, that should be a chant, like we've existed, or like some sort of way it's like we've existed for like whatever. You'll find some way to say that we've been existing while you've been dead, or like we're still alive. Yeah, we didn't die or something like that. I don't know.
There's always, I feel like every club has their like lore or like something that your club did that just lives forever in your head. I'll never forget whenever, because Oklahoma City was playing at a Taft Stadium, which is like kind of they shared it with a high school football team. Yeah. And that was the pitch was too thin, was what USL told them. Yes. And they re-signed a lease. The league told them, hey, you can't play here. And of course, they put out that statement that said, we thought we could work with the league. And unfortunately, they're not letting us or whatnot. And our admin on Twitter at the time literally responded, my brother in Christ, you renewed the lease. and just left it. And I will never forget that for as long as I live. I want that on a TIFO as soon as they come back.
Yes. No, it should literally just be like the actual tweet itself and like not anything else, just literally
just
a screenshot. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know who our social admin was at the time, but we didn't pay him enough. I can guarantee that.
I love it. So, Gage, I really appreciate you joining us here on the show. It's been great having your insight of Tulsa and have a third person bounce off, our ratings. So we got Scrooge, less Scrooge, and then you're somewhere in the middle outside of the Tulsa Kits. So what I want to go to is my favorite segment of the show, not the hour 15 to dinner chat with you great people here, is the Kit show off. So as our guest, what are you rocking?
Yeah, I'm rocking the Patina Ascent kit, which was our away jersey last year. It's just everything on the inside, of course, is kind of like a uplifting arrow kind of pattern, which of course was the ascending of all of our skyscrapers and our skyline, and of course just the patina and what's not to love about it.
Right? That color is so unique. I love it. Fox, what is yours in your like almost highlighter yellow? Is that what it look like?
Yeah, I'm reflective right now with the pink. Everything. I got the Man City 23-24 goalkeeper kit. My birthday was last weekend, and of course now I have to share it with my boys, which is fine. But it literally had their birthday party on my birthday. Rude. But my mother-in-law, she got me a good stack of Man City like goalie jerseys. I got a warm-up kit and a Freiburg sweatshirt. So she just went through my classic football kits list and
kind of like, yeah,
so,
I'll
he's a good son-in-law. He deserves all these.
Well, if I didn't say it once again, happy birthday from last weekend. Hope it was a great time. Obviously, you got some good kids. So, what I am rocking here, because I didn't have anything in Tulsa, but I saw this and my wife saw it and she goes, "You have to get this." It is Tulsa's Oktoberfest kit. It's got pretzels all over it. Like, come on, you can't get more Oktoberfest than that. And it's in that patina green, as like the collar and the pretzels. The pretzels themselves almost remind me of. Have you seen like the old Windows like sleep screen with the piping? And like, I don't know if I'm describing that right, but like
the screensaver.
Yes, and like how those look. These pretzels have almost like that same look to it, but in a pretzel form. So I appreciate that a lot. So yes. So we got two patinas and we got a highlighter over there. That means we are sending out here tonight on KitSZN. As we kind of wrap things up, what I will encourage everybody is to go follow this man here on Instagram, making great content, especially if you want to follow up on Tulsa, Kits, and now your vlogs, which have been really kind of fun, match day vlogs, which have always been kind of fun to watch. Any shout outs that you want to give here as we kind of wrap up tonight?
Just shout out Victor, who is our creative director currently, who is the brainchild behind most all of these kits. Also for the match vlog, shout out to the Kraft brothers, who are our owners. That Ryan actually was the one that reached out to me last season and was kind of like, "Hey, would you want to film from the field next season?" I was like, I'm not going to say no to that. So shout out to those guys for helping. It really feels like a family here because of how involved those guys are with us. So just shout out all of Tulsa, shout out 83 United, 918 Brigade. Let's keep this thing rolling. Not the start to the season we want, but let's keep it going.
Hell yeah. I love the energy. As I said, go follow this man on social media, on Instagram. You will not be disappointed in the content and what he produces. So, Gage, it's been a wonderful time to have you on the show. Thanks for being able to finally join us here tonight. I've been holding off on the Tulsa kits for you specifically, so I'm glad we finally got to review them with you. Thoughts, unless you have anything else, I think we're good here for the night.
This is it. I just really appreciate you coming on, and you're always invited.
Yes. Absolutely. So that is us here from KitSZN. I don't have any interviews lined up, so we did continue on our long, arduous journey of rating all the kits from across the USL. And Rise of Sign says, thanks, guys, and have a